Hello, everyone. This is Donald with 25%. Yes, I am back. I am back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I have a great guest here today. I will let him introduce himself. But like I tell you all, I'd rather have 25% of something than 100% of nothing. But wait a minute. While I'm telling you all that, you better click like, click share, and subscribe. Share with a friend, boyfriend, significant other, whoever. But share with some people and get it out there. But you know we're going to come here with the naked untruth. So again, click like and click share and follow. And I want to give it to those businesses, business entrepreneurs who, have the desires. And you guys know, for y'all who want to go back and check out some of the previous shows, please do. I want to give you the truth, the nothing but the truth. So help me. I want people to feel that I'm the place that you can come. It is uncut. I will make mistakes. I will bloop. I will not. Nothing is prescripted, as we said before, but without further ado. So I have my guest today. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we're gonna get down to talking to business.
Yes, sir. So I'm Morris Smith, and everybody call me Mo, but I'm a barber, entrepreneur, and real estate investor / agent.
Oh, okay. So you have about 6 hats you wear.
I wouldn't say 6 hats, but I got quite a few hats.
So the thing about this is though, how do you handle that? What days you do barbering? What days you do real estate? What days you do? What else you doing?
So I'm an investor. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I pretty much work in the barbershop. I'm there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I done cut my days down. I used to work 7 days a week, but I learned how to manage my time better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what you do on Sundays?
Sundays kind of a chill day. Kind of relax.
You sound like my barber. I was like, hey, can I get a shape up tomorrow? He's like, I don't work on Wednesday. He does construction, and he's a landlord. He does multiple businesses, and he only cut his days down to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I want to understand. You guys got to realize that everybody don't just like a haircut once a week. So in your business, what are you doing to accommodate your clients that wants their cuts like myself on Saturdays and Wednesdays?
Hey, man, well, it's one of those things where I don't even have nothing really to accommodate them, You might have to go to somebody else,
But I mean, come on, so how does that handle you with your retention of your clients coming back, and how do you deal with that?
With the retention?
Say for instance, not for instance, but you have a client that has something that's important on Tuesday that they must take, customer service and being there, being available, being ready, and that's a lot of things that clients look for the person that's there. Not saying you don't, because if you're still growing and you are still, maybe this can help other future barbers to help them to how can I handle it? I can be more than just a barber.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I done paid my dues. I've been doing this like 20 years, man. So I've been cutting hair pretty much all my life, and so I feel like my dues been paid. And when you pay your dues, you can go out, branch out, and do other things. It's not literally being a jack of all trades, but it's one of those things where I done mastered that trade. So I'm able to go out and and do real estate and do investing. So that's the way I look at it. And you know how it is. Once you've been doing something so long, eventually you graduate. And you graduate from that and until something else, which for me is real estate. And the investing side of it, honestly, like for showing houses, selling houses, I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I like, and I thought about it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I see a lot of the real estate agents that make good money, and I'd be like, no, because for one, people don't know what they be wanting. They want the house on the hill. They want all this, and then they have half this budget that's in here. You know, so and they gotta understand and be realistic with it.
Yeah.
So the thing is that. So what made you get into real estate? At what point in your life, I want to know, walk me through it. Say, for instance, you've been doing it for 20 years. So at year 10, you said, okay, hey, I want to do different. Come on, pull it out. Give me some. Give me some of you. I want to know you.
Here's the thing. I started cutting hair at a young age. I was cutting hair. I jumped into.
When you say young, what's young?
So, all right, I was about 13 years old. You know.
You was cutting hair on the porch
Yeah.
for $5.
Off the porch, man.
$5.
$5 wall. $3, you know. And we were still lining up and edging up with the big wall clippers. We wasn't even, you know.
Oh yeah,
you know
I
what
was
mean?
there. You know, I'm your age group. We both got gray, so I'm your age group. So yeah, I was on the porch and have the sheet tied around me. We didn't even have the thing. We had a sheet. Like, go get something off your mama's bed. My mom would be coming out there. Why is my sheet on this porch?
Yeah, man.
So so you started out when you were very young. That's pretty good, and that and that goes to show that people feel that. You have to be a certain person to be successful, but what they realize is a person's skill set is in them when they're young.
Yeah.
And I'm at that, I'm like, wow, because at 13, you're starting cutting hair, and it's like, hey, some parents be like, oh, I want you to be a doctor, lawyer, but that's your skill set.
Yeah.
And that's what you're good at. And it afforded you the life to broaden and open up to get other professions. So, again, take me from the 13. Bring me on up until a little bit, skip 14, 15, 16 in high school now.
So it started out in college, man. I was cutting hair, still cutting hair, and I was working at a barbershop. Everything led to, one thing led to another. Working at this barbershop, there was a lady that used to come in the barbershop all the time, and she was a real estate broker, had a company. And she was always telling me, she was like, hey, you need to go get your real estate license. I want you to go get your real estate license. For whatever reason, she kept hounding me about it. I took her up on the offer and went and got my real estate license. And, I failed the test twice.
And they say nothing, only thing beats failure is success. So I want to know, after you failed it twice, you did what? You passed it, right?
Yeah, eventually passed it.
Yeah, and that's success. So, and when you passed it, what did you do? And was you in college then, or you were out of college?
So I have just graduated from college.
And what's your degree? And tell these folks what's your degree.
So I have a degree in business management. So,
okay.
Yeah, I went to HBCU, Stillman College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so finished college, and after I finished college, I opened up my first barbershop at 22. You know what I mean? So I did a lot of stuff, at an early age. I got my real estate license when I was 22. I bought my first crib when I was 23. Oh. So I jumped off the porch doing a lot of things at an early age.
You was a grown man.
I've been around a lot of, people that was, I was able to really learn from, you know what I mean? So that helped.
Yeah, so you jumped off, you started your real estate, you bought your house. That was your only primary home, or you was buying investment property as well?
No, that was my primary home at 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
At 23, and I wanted to buy a home, and they denied me.
That ain't funny, but I just had it.
I mean, like, thank you. I'm just like, I'm having a moment with you, and I'm like, I'm thinking I'm connecting, and it's like, this guy laughed at me on my hard time. I was like, but you know what? That taught me patience, and it taught me because by the time I don't want to lie to you, I was 29, I was able to buy. It wasn't right then when I wanted to, but it's when God got ready for me to get it.
Correct.
And I was able to afford it with it. So you bought your house at 23, you had your real estate license, you finished college, you cutting hair. What was the next?
So it's funny.
I'm not letting you run away from the story.
Yeah. I mean, I was selling houses.
Okay, I'm about to ask you selling. Now we have to get down to it. We got to get down to selling houses. Okay, we're gonna specify. And what else?
Yeah, I was selling houses. I opened up other businesses. From bars to lounges. Failed at that. Lost a lot of money. Went broke. All of those things.
We're gonna get into that. So I mean, like that's and the thing about it is that the thing here is that we bring people here to let people know that for motivation, and that but to motivate them and to allow them to understand that being in business isn't always a success story, but you can still come out on top in the end. So, and I want you, please be free. And I'm not saying you don't have to say, okay, I don't need to know your checking account balance and all that, but be free. Loosen up, sip some of that water out that 25% coffee mug, and let folks know, hey, I had a business that actually failed. I had a business that failed. I had a printing company that failed. I lost hundreds of thousands in that business. Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it happens.
So, and I want you to let's get them and let them know, hey, how was that bar? What type of bar or lounge and stuff you had? What happened?
It was a restaurant. We had a restaurant / bar, so it's a lot of liability that comes with it. Not only liability, you also have employees. It's just
Baby, that's a nursery.
There's a lot of upkeep. There's a lot of upkeep, man.
And the thing about it is you got to work twice as hard.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that when you have a restaurant is that you have a 30% profit margin.
Yeah.
You don't have a huge profit margin.
No.
And if people sending food back or food is spoiling and stuff, you have a small percentage. And sometimes that profit margin can go from 30% down to 15 to 10. And then you got to pay for your own life. And when I say 30%, I didn't say you automatically make $1 million and you're living off 300,000.
Yeah.
So if you made 100,000, you could potentially be losing.
Correct. I mean, there ain't no room for error in the restaurant business. You know,
It shouldn't be.
There's no room for error. Every day needs to be a good day. You know,
A minimum of a good day.
Literally.
And tomorrow we're going to pray for a great day.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's serious though.
So what made you realize like, hey, when you was in the restaurant business, how long did you have it?
I had it for about a year and a half.
And what made you just like, I can't go no more?
Well, we had an incident that happened that,
Okay.
you know, that made us, we pretty much had to shut down.
Okay, and that's fine. And that's understandable. And see, the thing about this is that knowing when to fold, knowing when to hold. And that's what people, and I try to tell people, because see, me, I try to motivate people to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, but I do also want people to understand that I don't want you to lose your life savings or everything that you have. And at some point in time, you have to make the decision to either continuously go on or you continuously let go. And it's easy to let go than to carry on. And that's, you know, you have to know, because every business you do isn't going to be a success story.
No.
But you have to be passionate about it. And I mean, that's great that you've been in business and you're a serial entrepreneur, and that's a good thing. And that's admirable, because you continuously to operate your business, you continuously to grow, you continuously to be, you could have said, well, I don't want to deal with all of it at all. I want to start my own business. So what motivational things can you tell people?
Well, first thing first, man, is, you know, release that fear, you know, because fear will have you stagnant. Even when I opened up my first barbershop, I was fearful, but I went out and still did it. You know, I was afraid. I ain't have no resources. I ain't have nothing that, you know, would allow me to open that barbershop, but I just felt like I can do it. You know, I just graduated from college, so I didn't have any type of income that, you know, the landlord was looking for.
Well, go back to that, because you need to let people know that you don't have to have a lot to start your business and do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had about $8,000 sitting away in an account.
That's fine. But I'm going to say it again. Let the folks know you don't need to, because people feel that you have to have hundreds of thousands, or you need to have $70,000 or $50,000. Sometimes it's good to take the risk for what little that you do have.
Yeah. That's the main, that's what's going to have you working like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got bare minimum, like that's the stuff that's going to have you working from sun up to sun down.
I tell people all the time, all the time. I tell people when I'm talking to them, I say, take what you got in your checking and your savings and move it to an account you don't see every day. And when you do that, you then live off of that. You start fresh. That means you got to hunt every day, because you can't touch that money that you moved over there. You have to act like that money doesn't exist. You need to fight for every penny and every day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You have to.
Yeah, you do. You do. I remember cutting like crazy, and when I opened up the barbershop, there was a lady who used to come to the tobacco store next door, and she was always saying, you know, she was like, son, you going to cut your life away. You know what I'm saying? But she used to say that because she always see me at the shop early in the morning and late at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. You know, I'm then busting it down, getting to it. You know, and that's just how I was, you know, I was born like that, man.
I can tell, because you was at
Yeah.
13. At 13, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I was doing, but I was 13. I was doing what a 13-year-old was supposed to do. So the thing about this is, what I want to know is right now with your business, do you have barbers inside of your businesses, or how is your bar business?
Yeah, right now I have a total of 8 barbers in my shop.
Oh, so you don't even have to go to work if you don't want to.
I don't, but I do.
So the beauty of that, but the thing about this is that what you're doing for yourself is creating opportunities. And
Correct.
that's great. And you're creating opportunities if you do have to go and you don't have to go. Because when I had COVID in December, you know, it felt good to be able to not stress
Correct.
as much. If I'd have caught COVID in the beginning phases of my business, I probably would have lost it all. But I'm not a person that gives up easy. But to hear you saying that you set yourself up in a way to where as though you can go if you want to go and you don't have to go. So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. And, you know, like, what's some tips that you would give young up-and-coming barbers?
You know, just stay committed. You know,
No, I want because you know I want you to say this because this is something I'm gonna send back to you, and I want this is something, I want you to give me some deep. I want you to give me that strong, you know, because this hadn't cut. They're gonna see me telling you this.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, it's fine. Like I tell my guys at the shop, you know, Walmart open at what 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, and they close at 10, whatever time they close. You know, when people go to Walmart, they expect it to be open. Operate your business just like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're a barber, operate as such. You know, don't just settle for bare minimum. You know, so many barbers just because, you know, especially like here in Atlanta, you know, barbers out here, you know, they making good money because they charging a lot. So around here,
a whole lot.
Yeah, they're getting, you know, anywhere from $40 to $75, you know, for a cut. And so it's like they want to sit here and cut what 5 heads and leave. Like for what? Why? When you can sit there and grind it out and make $600, $700, $800 a day. You know?
The problem is that people get too comfortable with their life.
And that shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. But again, it goes back to what I said. Take the money you have in your checking and your savings and move it to an account you don't touch. And it'll make you hungry. And I tell that to a lot of entrepreneurs, especially those that are financially stable, that want to open up their business. Because now to me, when I talk to them, it's like, it's a hobby. And I'll be like, it's not a hobby.
Got to make it a business.
It's like I'm sweating tears. I don't have that option or luxury to drop the ball.
Yeah.
I have to make it work. And as they can see, you know, and everybody knows that's my followers and my fans and my family is what I'm going to call it, my 25 family. Everybody sees that I own an accounting firm. I own a consulting firm. I do the podcast. I'm building up a tax course class. It's like nonstop. And then I was on the phone with my team today, and it was like, for this tax class, you're going to be doing a lot of content creating. And life has changed. It's not like I can go take a cute picture and like and then put it on a flyer and pass it out. Yeah. That ain't the luxury no more. Because now everybody wants to fold their arms on a picture and say like, oh, I do taxes. Girl, you failed the open book test. Boy, you ain't got no business doing nobody taxes. So the thing about that is that, you know, it's great to see you that no matter what, you tried different things. You didn't give up your belief. And it's just like, hey, I threw darts at the wall. They didn't stick. Let's try something different.
Yeah.
And how can you motivate some young entrepreneurs that want to come up into real estate?
So, I mean, like I said, just starting out young, buying my house. And just to go back, man, I moved out of the house, rented it out, and started generating about $800-900 a month. Extra. Off of just that one house.
Wait a minute, I need to text my real estate agent. I need to get me some investment property.
Yeah, man. So I added to it. Just like how you said about the bank account and, you know, just freeing up money and you make you work harder and go harder. I put all my money in real estate.
And it makes you harder. Because, you know, real estate, it is sometimes it can be fast, but it also can be slow.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on if you start early, it's compound interest. I mean, you know, I'm sitting on over 15 properties, you know what I mean, that I got that's paid for. Ooh. And no mortgages. Probably got mortgages on like 2-3 houses, man. So, you know, that's why I recommend it, you know what I mean? Like literally. But a lot of this stuff that I did earlier, you know, in my career, earlier in my life, you know, I learned from the mistakes of the restaurant. I learned from the mistakes of the barbershops and, you know, what and what not to do.
So,
you know.
That's congratulations. And you have 15 properties paid for?
Yeah, and then I'm on partner.
We sitting here with $1 million now. we got money in here. I don't know how that song go. They got a whole lot of money in here.
Hey, man, I tell people all the time, you still got to keep grinding, though.
I promise you, because if you know what's here today can be gone today. Yeah. But the thing about it is that you got your stuff squared away, and that's good. And 15 properties. Wow. So how do you have a management company that manages them, or you manage them yourself?
Yeah, well, we have our own in-house management company that we created. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot because I know
it sounds like a lot.
You gotta understand anything you do, and I'm not trying to discourage people. I think that you should. When you have that, you leverage, and now you can go to banks and get whatever you want. You're a bad man, and you have that to have that leverage, and that's a good thing to have 15 properties.
Assets is everything, man. I tell people all the time, you can go get whatever you want at that point. When you got assets, to leverage, people give you loans strictly off of your assets alone. You know what I mean? It ain't even got nothing to do with your credit score at that point. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. If you got assets, man.
Say it again.
Come on, man.
Come on, but I want you to say that one more time. If you got what?
Assets.
And the thing about it is that, I didn't feel right, and I was talking to my friends. I owned a couple of property, and I was in transition of getting my new home, and trying to figure out where to locate it and where to live. But I was just like, I want to try test areas out.
Yeah.
Because this is something like I'm up in age. And I was like, wherever I live at now, I'm going to at least be there 10 years. And if I'm there for 10 years, I'm be in my 50s. So mid-50s at that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't going to want to move at 60. So where I'm at now, I'm settled. I'm comfortable. I'm okay with it. I'm thankful for it. So that's, but I didn't feel right just paying the person rent. And then I was like, I like the neighborhood. One of the neighborhood houses I was in, I was like, hey. So I called the guy up on the phone, and I was like, hey, you know what? I like this neighborhood. It's peaceful. It's quiet. And I was like, this is me. Yeah. And I called a guy up on the phone. I was like, hey, I want to buy this property from you. Sell it to me. He was like, no, we're going to keep it as an investment property. And at that moment then, it was like, okay, hell with this. I got to get on it. Because if not, the lease come up, I'm going to be stuck here again. I'm going somewhere else. And then that was my warning sign to let me know, like, hey, you're wasting your time dragging your leg.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. Like, I tell people all the time, like, there's no better thing than having, like, assets and you can liquidate your assets. You want to talk, you talking about you want to get rich and really get, wealthy. That's how you're going to do it. You can open up franchises with your assets. It's not no end all be all right there. Just having those properties, you can utilize them, for whatever you need to do, and you're trying to get to the top. You know what I mean?
So, what's your Instagram?
Beyond the Clippers.
Beyond the Clippers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Beyond the Clippers, are you educating and teaching people about barbering?
So what I'm doing, I'm educating and teaching people about real estate and how to go pretty much beyond the Clippers. And I mentor, and I also have program for people that want to get into real estate investing.
Okay.
I'm just showing people like the average hardworking person that you can do it just like how I did it. It's just a matter of delayed gratification. A lot of times, we want to go out there and we want to get the Hemi and, or the Scat Pack, or we want to go out there and get the,
I want to do those things.
Yeah, we all do. Mm-hmm. We all do, but you got to delay those things, or the Chanel bag or whatever the case.
So you mean to tell me I can't get my Prada?
And I mean, you can get it. I wouldn't tell nobody not to get it. Cause I like nice clothes. I like nice cars, nice clothes, and so I wouldn't tell nobody not to get it. I just think that you have to have your priorities in order.
And that's the thing about this. And to be honest with you, I had a nice car when I was renting the house in the process of looking for a home. And I would talk to actually one of my close friends, best friends, like a brother. I would talk to him all the time about business. So he was like, Donald, 25%. I was like, okay, I'm starting a podcast, 25%. That's why I got it from him. But I would talk to him, and one of the things that I told him was, I want a new car, and I have a nice car, which I'm grateful for and thankful for. Damn, I was supposed to bring it to get an oil change today. But I have a nice car, and I have those things, and I want to take and go get a new car. And I was like, but I don't feel right because I'm renting, and it's not, and I'm renting not because I had to rent, but it's like I had the luxury to bounce around to see what area I wanted to settle in, and that's a great feeling.
Man, there ain't wrong with that.
Yeah, but I afforded myself that. Excuse me, guys, my back itch. But I afforded myself that opportunity, and it's a good thing to do that. But I mean, I just didn't feel right going by a new vehicle because I felt like the vehicle I had, I felt like, I don't think that's good enough to be sitting in front of the door out here on a place I don't own. Because it's like you're wasting that money. But the guy who decided to tell me that he wasn't selling his investment property really woke me up. And I was like, I can't play no more. It's time to find where you want to go.
Sometimes rent makes sense. Sometimes buying makes sense. If it, you got to figure out which, what situation works best for you. I remember living in a 1-bedroom apartment, but I own 4 rental properties. A lot of people didn't think that made sense, but it made sense to me.
At the end of the day, it was paying off your rent because you had 4 properties, and
exactly.
You living free.
There you go.
You living free where you want to live at, because that property may have been way up on the east side, like the Jefferson. So you might, and that's what you did to afford you to have that. And some things like, So you want to give them, you gave them tips in real estate, you gave them tips in being involved. What about tips in investing?
Investing just across the board. Investing. You talking about like stocks?
I don't know. You say you an investor. Whatever your specialty is, you just let them have it. Drop the gems on them. Drop the gems on them.
Hey, I do everything. I invest in stocks as well. So I mean, I hate
stocks.
I ain't no big fan of them, but you know, I wanted to change up my portfolio a little bit and get into the stocks. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trading heavy probably like 4 years now with the stocks. You know, and also I want to go back to the real estate because my first investment property I paid $7,500 for it. You know what I mean? And so even when I was buying them type of properties in distressed areas, I was going back to my hometown buying properties in the hood. And when I was going back to those areas, I still had a lot of people like, why you buying those houses? Why you buying those houses? Those same houses right now were close to $100,000 that I was paying $7,500 for.
That's automatic equity until you free money to you.
Yep, automatic. Yep, and I got long-term renters. One thing I like about single-family homes, people live in them forever.
It don't want to move.
Don't want to move.
I didn't want to move. Did you hear me say I called that guy and asked him, do he want to sell it to me? So, it's like, I was like, I like the neighborhood. And I mean, it was peaceful. It felt like, nobody bothered nobody. I mean, honestly, at that house, some days I would go to sleep and the door would be unlocked. I would leave all kind of stuff, and my Amazon packages used to still be at the doorstep. Yeah. So I didn't have.
You're doing good then.
Oh, I was doing great. Like Tony the Tiger said, great. Yeah. So and it's just the thing about this. So give a 5. Like what's your favorite mentor? Who's your favorite mentor? Like person like you would listen to, like on person to speak besides me. Like, who would you give them? Like, what are some motivation you would give them? Man, like quotes, your favorite quotes you live by.
Denzel, man. I like Denzel. Denzel and Jay-Z. I listen to those guys on YouTube a lot. Okay. Les Brown. Also Dave Chappelle got some good quotes too. There, but
give us one.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Give one of Denzel's.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but. You know how Denzel always talking about, so you never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, all of that stuff like that is just motivation, I always listen to those guys.
And the thing about it is with the U-Haul behind a hearse, and I tell people, and I was talking to someone the other day, and I was telling them, like, you don't even take the clothes in your closet in the grave. They buy you new clothes to put you the rest in. So you can't even take that. Nothing you take, they give you something, all new stuff. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, this is great. I thank you for coming. How can people find you? How can they communicate with you? What are some things that they can do to reach out?
Oh, man. I'm on all social media platforms, beyondtheclippers.com, my website.
Beyond, is it BEYOND?
Yep.
Clippers.com.
The Clippers, yep. BeyondTheClippers.com. You can sign up for the BTC training meetup. We meet up a few times a year.
Is there a cost affiliated with that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, what comes with it?
So right now it's $1,000, but it's
that ain't nothing.
It's gonna go up though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get out to the people.
Let me go ahead on. Let me go on y'all better get into the early bird.
He said that ain't nothing. I'm like, all right, it's gonna go up. So the demand increasing, man. So
well, I mean, I think I would love to come sit into one, and I don't because you're very knowledgeable and you have your season and you have over 30 years or 40 years in experience?
I ain't that old now. I'm 39, man.
Oh, you're a baby. You're younger than me, way younger than me. So I'm the old one, yeah. So, but you have a long a wealth of 20 years, 2 decades in experience, and that's a great thing that you have stuck with it. I love when entrepreneurs hang in there and you keep swinging. And I mean, just because when you have your own business, everything doesn't always work out, but you know when to go and when you know when to stay. Yeah. And that was a good thing that you knew when to leave the rest of my business, but you also knew to keep the Clippers and keep investing. And right now, so you have 15 houses and they all worth $100,000. You bought 1.5. Can I take one of the properties and go get me a little something?
Check you out, man.
Click like, click share, and subscribe. The 25%. I appreciate everyone. And also, they told me what the email is. All right. So I hope I get it right, but I think I do. It's 25, the number 5, % podcast at Gmail. 20 spelled out, the number 5, percent spelled out, podcast@gmail.com. So 25%podcast@gmail.com. Send in your questions. Send in some things that you want to discuss or want me to talk about on the show, so we can go ahead on out there and I can go out there and get it and throw out the fish and reel them on in and get them for you. And I thank you so much for coming. Do you want to have some closing remarks you want to tell folks?
I appreciate you for having me on the show, man.
Man, you're a busy man, baby. You got this, you got that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me on. Again, BeyondTheClippers.com. You can find me on all social media outlets.
Okay.
TikTok.
And how can they sign up for your course?
Beyond the Clippers. BeyondTheClippers.com. I have a platform, Learn World's platform they can sign up on.
Okay. And have your coins. Get it now, because guess what? It is going up. And I don't blame him, because you know what? It takes a lot to put in behind those courses, and people don't understand it. And that's a wealth of knowledge. Yeah. And people can benefit and save a lot by coming to you and listening to you. Hey, guys, get on over there. Sign up for that course. And also, what other takeaways you want to give? Anything else?
That's it, man. You got to pay for information. Like, sometimes you got to pay for the stuff that you don't know. You know what I mean? It's simple as that.
I promise you, because I pay with my time and I have student loans.
There you go.
Yes. All right. So thank y'all. Bye. Click like, click share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a lover. Tell your wife. Tell your husband. Tell your significant other. Baby, tell your grandmother. Tell your aunts, your uncles, your aunties, nieces, nephews, and cousins. Everybody, click like, click share, subscribe. Thank you guys, and see you next week.